Welcome to this AnalyzerPro tutorial. In this tutorial, we will take a look at the movie function. Therefore, we will continue exactly where we have stopped last time. In case you don't have the data anymore, please copy the data here from the main data mask first and click on Calculate. As already mentioned, the movie will only display objects that are also available in the main data mask. That's why you need to click on Calculate first and will then see the vehicle with the corresponding driving line. As soon as you have calculated data for a certain vehicle, you will see that the respective vehicle will be colored in the upper middle row. You can now activate and deactivate the vehicle as you like. If you have accidentally clicked on Delete at any time while a vehicle is selected and the vehicle disappears, then the vehicular data is not deleted. You have just deactivated the vehicle and you can activate anytime via this button. In the lower left area of the screen, you can find a slider and several buttons similar to a video recorder. You can click on play to start the driving sequence you have calculated before. To the right, you can see a small timeline that moves towards the 0 point, in this case. You do not have to use the play button start the sequence. You can also use the slider with the left mouse button to move the vehicle forwards and backwards and into the desired position. The coordinate display is a very important tool in your toolbar. It always shows you the current velocity, phase, acceleration, and so on of all displayed vehicles. When you click on play, you can observe how the different values change according to your previous calculation. Plus, you can easily jump to the most relevant points in the movie sequence with the buttons E, R, S, and B you can see here. When you click on E, you can select the relevant car. In this case, we only have vehicle 1 and jump to the point of recognition, the beginning of the recognition phase of your vehicle 1. R means reaction point, S stands for build-up phase, and B for the beginning of the braking phase. Next to them, you can see a small rectangle which brings you to the 0 point. This option is not too relevant in this case here, but it's useful for the synchronization or collision analysis later on. AnalyzerPro automatically creates several diagrams of different driving sequences. When you click on the icon in the left upper area of the screen, the distance time diagram opens up. Further diagrams can be selected in the toolbar on the right. Various settings as well as the possibility to copy the diagram into the movie are also available here. You can also open up several windows on top of each other. This holds true for the kinematics window as well as for the diagram or 3D window. You can place as many windows parallel to each other as you like. If we open the coordinate display now, during the diagram is open, you can see a horizontal line that moves downwards with the expiring time and shows us constantly where we are in the distance time diagram at the moment. The movie runs simultaneously, of course. Now let's close the distance time diagram again. Let's take a closer look at the driving line now. The driving line is an essential component of the vehicle in the kinematics section. The center of gravity is linked to the driving line and will always stay on it in any case. That's why you need to consider yourself when you let your vehicle drive a curve in the kinematics, if something is physically feasible. Basically, the driving line functions like the curved line from the drawing tools. You can add further points. When you click on the driving line, click on the right mouse button and add a point. With adding and shifting the individual points, you can adapt the driving line according to the driving behavior. As I've just said, please always verify if your assumptions are physically correct, because in the kinematics, you don't have things like skidding or breaking away of the rear end. A good indication whether your curve is kinematically feasible is the coordinate display, because it shows you the normal acceleration. The upper limit for a curve can be assumed as approximately 6 ms2. More is usually not reasonable for an average driver. The 4 ms2 we have calculated here is already quite high and must have been rather inconvenient for the driver. You can now shorten or stretch the driving line as you like, but the vehicle will always only drive the distance that is calculated in the main data mask. If you have calculated a distance of 15 m in the main data mask, the vehicle will only drive these 15 m, no matter if you have prolonged the driving line. It might help to think of the driving line as rails. In version 21 of AnalyzerPro, the whole driving line has been revised. You can see that you have a small star at the end of the driving line or at the base point, which always tells you where the ride will end. Additionally, you have small cross lines that indicate the phase boundaries accordingly. If your driving line is now moved, the vehicles will always end at the point where the base point symbol is found. With a right click and set base point, you can also move the base point to the starting point. Then, the vehicle always starts its journey at the starting point, which is again at the marked base point star, and drives as far as you have calculated in the driving data. If you want to reset the driving line, you can do that by right-clicking on the driving line and selecting Reset Driving Line. The driving line is then reset to its original state. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a lot of fun practicing.